Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Milwaukee Baseball, where we celebrate our nation's pastime, past, present, and future, in the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your host, Robert Cadera. Now, on today's show, we're going to take a mid-season look at the Brew Crew and where things stand and predict where they might go from here. As you may know, we're enjoying a 9-game winning streak right now, and the Milwaukee farm system has sent righty Jacob Misiorowski up to the big club, and it's been a while since a pitcher has taken the major leagues by storm the way he has. Over the last couple of weeks, not only Clayton Kershaw, but much of the baseball world has come to find out just who the Brewers righty named Jacob Misiorowski is. The club promoted the 23-year-old, and after his first 5 starts, Misiorowski has a 4-1 record with a 2.81 ERA, 33 strikeouts, and 26 innings of work, and the opposition is hitting an aggregate 138 against the Brewers rookie. Fans of Milwaukee baseball and my other free baseball podcast should be no strangers to Misiorowski, as I've been touting this kid since last season when I expected he might be brought up to work meaningful innings in relief down the stretch drive and into the postseason. Perhaps if Misiorowski had been facing Pete Alonso instead of Devin Williams, it might have been a more enjoyable offseason for Brewers fans, but let's move on. Along with Jacob's emergence, the team got a huge boost from the successful return of Brandon Woodruff, who got the win in his first start back after nearly 2 years on the injured list. If Brandon has no ill effects from that start and can contribute down the stretch, that will be a huge boost to the postseason hopes for the Crew. Now, the Brewers ended the first half of the 25 season on a 7-game winning streak and in second place. Well, it's now a 9-game winning streak, but they're still in second place in the NL Central, a game behind the Cubs, but the Crew has the number 1 wild card spot if the season ended today. With 64 games to play, nothing is for certain, but it'll be interesting to see what, if anything, the Brewers do at the upcoming trading deadline. With the return of Woodruff and the addition of Misiorowski and the imminent return of Nestor Cortez, the Brewers actually might be one of the few teams that will have starting pitching to trade, while at the same time be looking to add to the team's lineup down the stretch. Now, I've heard some speculation on the internet about whether the team might deal Freddie Peralta, but I'd like to put the kibosh on that right now. Such a move would be suicidal to the team's pennant chances. Still, the team probably needs another bat. Certainly, with the injuries that they've had, the team is playing an offense that's inconsistent. They can go a week or 10 days averaging 6 runs per game like they are right now, but then they can go cold and have trouble scoring any runs at all. If you've been paying attention this year, you know what I'm talking about. William Contreras' bat is showing some slow signs of coming around. First baseman Andrew Vaughn has driven in 12 runs in his first 7 games with the team. Now, that won't continue, of course, but he's been a really good replacement for the injured Rhys Hoskins. Joey Ortiz has hit a few homers lately, including last night's game winner, but he's still not hitting. His glove is great at shortstop, but if only the bat would come around. Now, Sal Frelick pulled a hamstring in the final game before the All-Star break, and that was unfortunate. Cross your fingers that he won't miss significant playing time, as he's been the most pleasant offensive surprise on the team. Churio and Yelich have been better of late. Caleb Durbin has woken up and he's hitting, and Isaac Collins has been contributing more too. But the lineup still needs a big bat, lest it fold against better pitching, the kind that the team will face in the postseason. The Crew front office might consider trading Chad Patrick if he could bring a power bat in return, but the chances of that are unlikely, I feel. There doesn't seem to be any hitter in the minor league system who's ready to step in and contribute either. I suspect Matt Arnold will hold on to the pitching staff, the one strength the team could parlay into the postseason, and he has to hope, as we do, that Blake Perkins' return will be fruitful and that Garrett Mitchell will come back soon. That'll give us some outfield and offensive depth. But this team is still going to live or die by its pitching staff, I think, and they've got more depth than they did last year, so hopefully they can go deeper into the postseason. Pat Murphy's done another great balancing act with the rosters he's been given, and he can do it again. Of course he can. All bets may be off, but all fingers are still crossed. Earlier this week, Major League Baseball held its annual amateur draft. Now, we'll have a full report at season's end on the performance of all the Brewers minor leaguers. But here's a short look at the team's top picks this year. The Brewers had the number 20 pick in the draft based on the team's finish during the 2024 season. The first player they selected was a slugging lefty, third base, first base, Andrew Fisher of the University of Tennessee. Now, Fisher has a very attractive all-around offensive profile with power and exceptional strike zone judgment. He can also get on base. He had more walks than strikeouts this year, and he can steal bases. Given his experience playing at the highest level of college competition, Andrew Fisher could start his professional career in high A ball and advance rapidly through the Brewers minor league system. I'd expect him to arrive as a first baseman, realistically, although the organization insists it's going to try him at third base first. The Crew's second pick at number 32 was a 6'2" high schooler, Brady Ebel, from Corona High School in California. That's the best high school baseball program in the country. He's said to have a high baseball IQ and an advanced knowledge of the strike zone and a future in the middle infield. He's also one of the youngest players in this year's draft, so he'll be at least a few years away, I would think. After those top two selections, the Brewers seem to concentrate on projectable pitching, meaning players whose metrics so far might be more promising than their actual performance has demonstrated. As I mentioned, we'll have a full evaluation of the Brewers' 2025 draft at the end of the season when we take stock of the entire farm system as Milwaukee shuffles the cards for the 2026 season. Well, that's it for Milwaukee baseball this month. The second half of the season began on Friday night, and Brewer fans can take heart that after a shaky start to the season, Pat Murphy got the ship righted, and he's put the Brewers in the postseason hunt. Just don't expect the organization to spend a lot of money on new talent for the stretch drive. I expect if the team makes any moves at the trade deadline, it's because they are approached by other teams looking for pitching help. So on we go. The team starts out the second half with a challenge. They begin on the road, and they've had a 3-game series with the Dodgers that concludes Sunday. They've won the first 2, and what a shot it would be in the Brewers' arms, let's say, if they could not only win this series, but go on to face the Dodgers in the postseason. Well, a couple of weeks ago, an old ball player named Billy Hunter died at the age of 97. He was just the last surviving member of the St. Louis Browns franchise. As many of you may know, the Browns left St. Louis after the '53 season, and they became the Baltimore Orioles. Why do I mention this? Well, before the Browns were the Browns, especially for the 1901 season, they were known as the Milwaukee Brewers, and they played their home games at Lloyd Street Grounds Baseball Park between 16th and 17th Streets north of North Avenue. We're going to have a short feature on the first Major League Baseball team in Milwaukee on our next edition in August of Milwaukee Baseball. In the meantime, keep the brats warm, keep the beer flowing. This has been Milwaukee Baseball, and I'm your host, Robert Cadera. I hope you'll join us again next month on our next trip around the bases. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, and don't forget to slap the subscribe and like buttons to make sure that you don't miss a single episode of Milwaukee Baseball. Bye-bye.